Well, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising, Jonathan. How are you?
Oh, considering getting hit by a car. Let's see. Nice and chilly out here in Arizona this morning,
Yeah,
but it is a beautiful sunny day.
us too.
Other than that, I'm alive and kicking. Um,
Above
so
ground is good, my friend. Above ground
above
is
ground
good.
is good. So we had our Minnesota National Guard out there being so kind, passing out hot coffee, cookies, donuts, and hot chocolate to the
Ah,
protesters.
I saw that. I saw that. Wow.
Yeah, it's like
What a good,
mighty kind, mighty kind.
yeah, what a
So,
good waste of our local funds for the
well,
National Guard up there.
if you're going to do something, they say do it right, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna mess it up, do it up right.
Yeah. So here I'm going to just play a little bit of footage real quick, and we're going to get over to our main broadcast today. But this is our
Okay.
good old National Guard out there in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Um, got to give my hat off to them.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
Wow.
It's almost Valentine's Day. We get a shot of it,
But thank you all.
Yeah, like they always say, Julie, seeing is believing. You know, what a way to utilize your National Guard. Have them come on out and make friends with all the protesters. Let's serve them. Might as well serve them ice cream and cake like it's their birthday, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
Well, and what
uh,
I mean, come on. And so what? They're gonna serve hot chocolate and donuts and then turn around and be a shield against the ICE agents?
well, pretty much. And I think we just lost Julie for a second.
Ah.
There
Ooh,
you
that was
are.
weird. That was weird.
Isn't that weird? Let's make sure we're still live real quick.
Okay, that's probably a
Uh,
good idea.
yep. Well, it says we're still live. Well, with that one broadcast where they blocked their whole entire show, um,
Mhm.
I am using a different IP, so that should
Are you
prevent
today?
this.
Okay, good.
Um, Still getting used to my brand new glasses. They're the transition glasses, but
Nice.
other than that, they're still almost like I'm outside in the sun, almost. But they're
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 almost
starting to
clear.
light. Yeah, they're almost clear. So today we're going to talk about the weather transition, um, all the stuff that they're doing out there, modifying our weather. We did a great broadcast on Thursday that you guys all got to miss because they decided they didn't want this getting out there to the world.
Yeah,
And
go figure.
and, and Julie took quite a bit of time actually educating me. So, Julie, if you want to jump right into this, I
Sure.
think let's do this entire broadcast on this and
All
let people
right.
see, how our government has been in control of our weather since the 1700s, which
Yes.
I would have never believed it, but proof is in the pudding, and Julie's got all the facts, guys.
I got
So
receipts. I've got
she's got the
receipts.
receipts, proof in hand.
Okay.
Here we go. We're going
All
to add
right.
this. Okay.
All right. So can you guys see that all right? Okay.
Yep.
So today's today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is the U.S. weather modification patents, and so we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I was showing Jonathan that these things have been going on for a very long time. So while the first U.S. Patent Office officially began operations in 1790, comprehensive patent documentation as we know it today began after the Patent Act of 1836. Weather modification concepts existed before formal patents, with early 1800s experiments involving explosives and chemicals to induce rainfall, though formal patent documentation begins in 1891. So here we go, folks. In 1891, the very first one on file is US 462.795A. And on November 10th, 1891, method of producing rainfall. This came out of Chicago, Illinois. This is the earliest known weather modification patent. And it used liquefied carbonic acid gas in explosive shells, gunpowder or dynamite, thrown or shot into the upper atmosphere to create condensation and cloud formation to produce rain. The significance, it established the foundation for our current cloud seeding concepts. So then this goes through 1891. Now, then we jump to 1913. This is the first time we hear about the rainmaker balloon. This was invented by James M. Cordray. And this balloon device designed to produce rain at any given time, even during the dry seasons. Again, 1913. 1917, produce process and apparatus for the production of intense artificial clouds, fogs, and mist. 1925, an electric system and method. This is one of the first patents to dissolve the clouds and fog to produce rain using electrical systems. Cited over 30 times in later weather modification technologies. Then we move on to 1949. This is where we start with the aerial discharge device. This is where we're dispersing weather modification materials from the aircraft. April 24th, 1951, the process for controlling weather, landmark patent made by Harvey M. Brandau in Wilton, Wisconsin, was filed in 1948 and then patented in 51. This one I think is rather interesting. This is the comprehensive process for affecting changes in weather conditions, dissipating clouds and fog by clearing atmosphere of visible moisture particles. Stated capabilities is to dissipate typhoons, hurricanes, and storm centers, control weather using hail damage and lightning, control snow and sleet in populated areas, dissipate weather frontal systems using floods, provide rain in designated areas, provide desirable weather for sports events and outdoor activities, control weather for business purposes. The significance of this, it's the first patent explicitly titled Process for Controlling Weather. Openly stated comprehensive weather control as the primary objective. All right, then we're going to move on to the expansion era. 1951, the method for crystal formation and precipitation. 1952, we've got the apparatus for the airplanes to disperse. Again, 52, metal chloride screening smoke mixture. That sounds fun. Method and apparatus for detecting minute crystal-forming particles suspended in a gaseous atmosphere is given to us in 1955. Another controllable dispersible device, 56. 59.
Hey, Julie.
Yes.
I'd like to say something to the viewing audience real quick. Julie just experimented as well over the weekend. If you guys have just recently had snowfall like Julie did, I want you to go outside, make a snowball, take a hot flame and try to burn that snowball. And I'll tell you what, folks, it smells like burning plastic.
I have my picture ready to show.
Yeah, perfect. Something is coming down with this snow. That's like a plastic form. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can enlarge that just a little bit, Julie. Yeah. So you guys.
You can see there's a black, right in here, there's a black film that took place. So I was able to make it melt a little bit and put it into a ball in my hand. And then you can see the flame gave it that black texture. And as soon as I started burning it, my friend in the house was like, "What are you burning?" Smelled like plastic.
So,
Snow.
anyways, that's what's coming down in our precipitation, and we have reason why I had Julie conduct that test is because I've seen a lot of people out there mentioning about when it snows now, and they've heard all this different stuff, blah blah blah. That when they did this test, it ended up actually. One person actually said it had almost like a liquefied plastic once everything melted.
Hmm.
It wasn't a lot, but it was there, and it stunk. And
Yes,
a good example when you tested, Julie, you said it smelled like burning plastic as well.
it did.
That
Yep.
and that's concerning because if this is what we've got going into our soil, into our waterways, I mean, you name it,
To our
um,
bodies, to our bodies.
to our
Hello.
bodies. I mean, if this is we got if this is toxic, which it appears to be, because when you burn it,
Hmm.
it smells like burnt plastic.
Yep.
And this is snow, folks. Snow's not melting snow when you burn it is not supposed to smell like burning plastic.
Nope.
Any way you want to look at it. So
Yep.
I appreciate you conducting that test out there as well, Julie.
Yep.
So
That
for our
was.
viewing audience out there, if you guys got recent snowfall, go up, compact the snowball, and just take a torch and see about burning it. And see what you smell.
Hmm.
So, and let us know. Email us at yournewsarizona@gmail.com or call into the studio at 928-385-4738. And we'd love to hear from you and like to hear your input and whether or not it smelled like burning plastic to you. So,
Yep.
anyways, I'll let you move on. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, no, good point. Good point. Yep. No, this is why we're doing this, is to educate. All right. So then we've got this intensification period that happened between 71 and 80. And so this is when we were sort of young ones and growing up here. In 71, they started with a method of treating atmospheric conditions. Another one, treatment of atmospheric conditions by intermittent dispensing of materials therein. Now, a major patent in October. Um, this was through the United States, the assignee, United States of America, the National Science Foundation. This is the method for producing rain or snow from natural atmospheric clouds using seeding agents with high water solubility and large endothermic heat of solution. The materials are
Mm.
urea, potassium nitrate, ammonium nitrate. The results? Area effective in producing ice crystals in vapor clouds at temperatures as high as +6 degrees Celsius. Cause snow showers in supercooled clouds. Again, this is the US government assigned patent. Very big deal. Again, it's 71 combustible components. Got another one, weather modification utilizing microencapsulated material. 72, we've got solar temperature inversion device. Wonder what that one is. Then we've got rocket having barium release system to create ion clouds in the upper atmosphere. 74. More 74, we're creating smoke particles for weather modification. We had a lot going on in 74. Electrical heating
Yeah.
apparatus for generating superheated vapors. Now let's just go from superheated vapors to freezing nucleant. That's going to be in 75. Communication system utilizing modulation of the characteristic polarization of the ionosphere, 75. 75, 75, 76, method of fog dispersion, vortex ring generator, smoke generator, countermeasure system for laser radiation. 77, method and apparatus for triggering a substantial change in Earth characteristics and measuring Earth changes. All right, so we're moving on to the modern era, 1980s through the 90s. This is where we are introduced to HARP. A lot of us have heard of HARP. It didn't roll out until 87. This was the High Frequency Activity Auroral Research Program. That's what HARP stands for. And it alters regions of Earth's atmosphere, ionosphere, and magnetosphere. This is the most controversial patent. The capabilities for atmospheric manipulation at the ionospheric level. So the HARP is oftentimes what we can see in the clouds, making the sort of the curved, and they look like waves. The HARP, when they're using HARP, you can tell that how the clouds change. Okay.
Wow.
So the use of, and then we go to 98, the use of artificial satellites in Earth orbits adaptively to modify the effect that solar radiation would otherwise have on Earth's weather. So I believe this is about the time frame where we're adding in Bill Gates and him wanting to block out the sun. I believe this is about the same time frame. So yeah, looky here. We've got a satellite weather modification system. We've got all of these lovely acronyms for them. We've got satellite engines, remote sensing devices, ground control stations for energy beam guidance. Isn't that curious? 1999, again, weather modification by artificial satellites. They're expanding that SWMS technology.
And you know, Julie, you just mentioned about the energy beam. I wonder if that has anything to do with what happened in Hawaii.
I thought the same thing as I was reading it.
Yep.
I believe that's called a DEW, direct energy weapon. But it could very well be tied to the weather modifications as well. Moving on to 2001, we've got a method of modifying weather by Peter Cordani. This uses polymers to absorb aqueous solutions, cloud seeding with water-absorbing polymers to potentially absorb all water from clouds before the precipitation. Polymers dehydrated to powder after water absorption. Application, flood prevention. I think they could also make some floods with that too, though.
Oh,
All right.
you think so?
Yeah, moving on. 2003. This is a fun one. Hurricane and tornado control methods. This proposes using sound waves or aerosols for storm control. Experts consider it impractical due to massive energy requirements, but don't tell me they're not using it. Just because they say it's impractical, I don't believe that they're not using it.
Right.
Space-based hurricane control. Space-based technology for generating and controlling hurricanes to weaken and dissipate. 2003. Oh, hello. If technology can weaken and dissipate, it can also strengthen and direct. This one came out in 2010. I believe this is what we may have experienced in North Carolina 2 years ago. So then we have AI machine learning coming out in 2021, intelligent systems for weather modification programs, a modern patent using machine learning to optimize cloud seeding, drones or vehicles with sensors collecting weather and cloud data. And this determines optimal seeding locations and materials, such as silver iodide, in real time. Represents advancement in automation and AI for precise, localized weather modification. So some of the technologies that have rolled out from this, we've got the electromagnetic manipulation patents. These are technologies for weather modification through electromagnetic fields and ionospheric manipulation. Again, precipitation control, fog, cloud dissipation, and atmospheric heating. Aeronautical weather manipulation. This is where the aircraft is involved. We've got charged fluid spray systems, electrically charged fluid sprayed below the clouds. The updraft carries charged particles into the clouds for precipitation enhancement.
Yeah. Hey, Julie,
Yes.
real quick, we got a couple comments here. Jordan Reeves
Okay.
says, Jordan Reeves says, I've been saying this years ago now, years ago, now going to jail for doing no crime. Uh,
Mm,
Jesse Wiggins, hey guys, finally caught you live. Hey Jesse, appreciate you being on, joining our live broadcast. Please,
absolutely.
please guys, like, follow, share us, get it out there to the world. This is how we stay doing what we're doing here.
Yep.
It takes your guys following us and sharing this, getting it out there. All right, Julie, appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for commenting, guys. I appreciate that. Then we go on to the wind blow type ground based cloud seeding. This is ground based generators burning cloud seeding flares. Vertical and horizontal dispersion of seeding materials to clouds and fog. We've got fluid dynamic rain making apparatus, tubular members with thermal conductors for atmospheric manipulation. Weather barrier system, artificial barriers built at acute angles to channel dry air masses over large bodies of water for moisture collection. Then I found, let's go into the key chemicals and materials used.
Hey,
We've got,
Julie,
yes.
if we could just do a real quick announcement for our people that support us. This is your. I want to give a reach out to your news. I mean, not your news. Sorry, guys. Out to Stephen and Terry Thomas, Loaded Gun Copy over in Lake Havasu, Arizona. I'm just going to put this up there real quick. So, so these guys, every time you guys make a purchase through Loaded Gun Copy, they support. They give a small portion over to Your News Arizona in support of what we do.
Mhm.
So again, a special shout out to Stephen and Terry Thomas. Appreciate you guys' support. When you guys do it, you need to put in your reference code Your News AZJTA, and then and as long as you enter in that, um, they give us a small portion of every sale. And these guys are great patriots. I 100% support patriot owned companies out there. So again, if you scan the QR code right there, they've got a great lineup in their store as well. Patriot gear. I mean, you name it, they've got it. Check out Loaded Gun Coffee, guys. Um, and real quick, if you guys would like to make a contribution ever to Your News Arizona, I'm going to put it up in the right hand corner. You can make a contribution right through scanning that QR code, and I think it takes you over to Cash App, and you guys can make a small contribution to Your News Arizona. And then, last but not least, we're promoting Q Broadcasts as well. Q Broadcast for unlimited television. You get for $69.99 a month. You get all your HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, Encore, pay-per-views. For you sports fanatics out there, you get all the sports packages. You're allowed 5 TVs, folks, for $69.99 a month. So if you guys don't want to pay all that on your own, split it with 3 different family members, and each of you guys pay $20 a piece. And then keep 2 TVs for your house, and let somebody else pay $20 each, and then basically you're getting almost free TV for $20, and just a great program out there, and that's Q Broadcast. And I'm going to put their QR code up in replace of Support Your News.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Scan the QR code for Q Broadcast, and check it out, guys. Great channel lineup these guys offer. I mean, you're not going to get better television for that price. Yeah, because if you try to have that kind of package on cable or satellite, I guarantee you it's gonna cost you over 200 a month, especially nowadays. So,
Mhm.
anyways, we're gonna get back to our broadcast. Appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys. Okay,
Absolutely.
go ahead, Julie. Sorry about that.
Sure. No, it's good. Yep. Well, so again, we're going to go back into the chemicals and materials that they use. So the silver iodide, that's the most common. We have dry ice, that's the solid carbon dioxide. We have potassium iodide, sodium chloride, calcium carbide, ammonium nitrate, urea, potassium nitrate, nitrate. Looks like I've got that nitrate and nitrite, lead iodide, cupric sulfide, and kaolinite. Yeah, okay. Aerosol generators.
What
They've
could
got
possibly
metal.
go wrong with all this?
Right. It can't even say it. What could possibly go wrong? Ice nuclei, smoke particles. So, yeah. So here we've got the United Nations Environmental Modification Convention adopting all of these different agreements in 1976. We've even got between the US and the USSR, 1974 bilateral discussions. Convention of the Prohibition of Military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques. This regulated applications for floods and intense rains, droughts and water deprivation, severe heat manipulation, volcano eruptions, tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes, and other environmental warfare techniques. Wow, probably one of the first times we see environmental warfare techniques used. And the key document on that was dated October 27th, 78 from the UN UN Office of Disarmament Affairs. So now we've got current data. We've got 9 states that are saying that they are using it. I believe that there are more states that are using it but aren't admitting to it. So these are the ones that are on the books for using it. California, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, and South Dakota. Again, I do believe that in Kansas and Missouri, we are also 2 states that do get regularly sprayed as well. I've witnessed it myself.
Yeah.
So then we go to some historical milestones. The very first one that we talked about was in 1891. That's when the first patent office came out. But again, they were doing weather manipulation before that. They just didn't have a patent office to record it before that. In the 1930s, there was the Dust Bowl era. Farmers attempt rainmaking with cannons and dynamite. 1946, modern scientific weather modification really begins in 46. Let's see. First successful cloud seeding flight took place in 1946 as well in Massachusetts.
Wow.
There, they dropped 1.5 kilograms of dry ice pellets into the supercooled lenticular stratocumulus clouds. Within 5 minutes, clouds transformed to snowflakes, penetrating 600 meters before subliming. 1951, process of controlling weather patent filed. And then in 62, this is where we get the infamous quote by Lyndon Baines Johnson, President Johnson, saying, "He who controls the weather will control the world." 76, the UN Environmental Modification Convention was adopted. And then in 87, HARP came fully online again, when the patent was filed there. In 2021, we continue with learning integration into weather modification systems. So yeah, we've had over 200 patents for weather modification. The peak times were the 70s through the 90s. The earliest patent was 1891. And the most recent significant patent was 2021. We had AI system in conjunction with what they were doing there. Well, then we have some related technologies. GWEN stands for Ground Wave Emergency Network. These are huge towers with up to 100 copper wires fanning out underground at their base. It's used for communications and potential weather atmospheric manipulation. And then I think a lot of you guys, I know I have, we've heard of NextRad, Next Generation Radar. This is weather radar system with dual use capabilities, and it's subject of weather modification research. Now, I have talk about the receipts. Here are the receipts. You can go in and do what I did, look into the patent offices and find what everything that I have. The research sources are here. We've got Google Patents, Justia Patents, geoengineeringwatch.org. That's a really good one to find some information. The U.S. Government Accountability Office, GAO, another one. And then the UN Office for Disarmament Affairs. I find it very interesting that there's a lot of information about patents for weather modification with the UN office.
Yeah.
So, basically, we've got all of this, and the military has been involved, and we've got National Science Foundation in the military. And we've got international treaty regulations since 78 acknowledging military weather warfare potential. I know some veterans that they claim that there was massive weather manipulation going on in Vietnam when they were over there.
Right.
So, then we've got, let's see. So here we go. I think that's about it. Yep, that's it. And there's your receipts.
So I've got another person says that we are basically talking a bunch of smoke up our butt. It looks like I lost you again, Julie.
Yep, I'm back.
Yep. Well, we had another person make a comment out there. I don't mention names, but they're basically saying we're talking a bunch of smoke up our ass.
Sure, okay.
So, anyways, so for our viewing audience out there, I'm just gonna say it. Julie just laid out the facts to you. If you're not going to take the time to research the facts, she just provided the facts to you. And if you want to blow up a bunch of smoke at us, you can just kiss my ass for starters. And for number two, if you don't want to look at the facts, you don't want to open your eyes and ears and pay attention, then that's on you. Don't come crying to us later on when you go, oh my God, it really is happening. Again, Julie, I'll say it, there for quite a while. I thought I've heard about this kind of stuff, and I just thought, yeah, right. We can't do all this, and after seeing the facts and just reading everything that we provided on the show the last time that didn't get out there to the world, I was just like, holy shit. This has been going on for a long time.
A very, very long time. Yes. So, and we don't want to believe it's true. We really don't. But the fact is, the Matrix was a documentary. And when they said that they were spraying us like bugs, they're not kidding.
Well, again, who on God's earth would think, our government would want to exterminate us, so to speak?
Right.
But, they're basically poisoning us any way you look at it. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
You look out there in all the states this past summer that just had mass flooding. And I'm talking people that were high up in elevation were Your news, Arizona. Well, you're live on the air, so click. All right. Anyways.
We got a troller, do we?
Yep. Anyways, to make a long story short, you look at the mass floodings, you look at Hawaii, all that burnt out there. And surprisingly, Oprah Winfrey's place didn't get touched. Other people's places didn't get touched.
Right.
People with buku bucks, but all around them got burnt to hell. You
Hmm.
know, um, so if you don't think that weather modification is impossible, um, first of all, do your research. Julie has provided the facts to you guys, and just check it out. I mean, this has been going on for quite some time. It's nothing new.
It's there. All of the information is there. You just
Yeah.
have to go look.
And
It's
again,
all there.
yeah, and again, if you guys just recently had a snowfall like Julie did, go out and make a snowball and you know put a flame up to that and see if it starts smelling like burning plastic to you
Hmm.
and putting
Hmm.
out like a black smoke.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now that it's what seeing is believing, and
Yep. Yep.
so we highly recommend you do that experiment. And if you happen to be watching today, we're going to be on for another about 24 minutes, 23 minutes.
Hmm.
Um, Go out, make your little snowball, torch it, see what you smell.
Yeah.
And if it smells like burning plastic, by all means, call into the studio. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Or if you got some footage you want to share it with Your News Arizona, and we'll broadcast it. Um, yournewsarizona at gmail.com. We'll broadcast it out there. You're doing the test. And again, Julie, that's very concerning. You should
Yes, it
never
is.
have you should never have snow that smells like burning plastic when you hold a flame to it. Um,
So another area here in Kansas was reporting there they didn't have snowflakes. They had it looked like long grains of rice.
uh,
Really, really weird. So I don't know if it's I would imagine that the style of snowflakes that come down are changed depending on a couple of things, the chemicals that they're using and the weather as far as how cold and the wind. I think it might manipulate the snowflakes to look like it looked like long long grain rice
right.
is what it looked like. And that was reported in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah. So,
So,
so guys, today we are broadcasting out there on multiple outlets. We're out there you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, X, and there's several other ones out there that we're broadcasting live to right now. But anyways,
mhm,
we're just asking for you guys to like, follow, share our broadcast. We believe in getting the truth out to America. We don't hide anything from people. We don't censor you. So
mhm,
if you guys want to come live on the show with us, you're entitled to say whatever it's on your mind. We don't stop you from freedom of speech.
mhm.
Doesn't mean we're always going to agree with you, but
Right,
again, we'll never silence you either. You're
right.
and again, you guys can always call into the studio anytime you wish. 928-385-4738. And or we can actually bring you live on the show. We can easily send you a link that you can enter our news studio with us. And we'll bring you right live with us. And Julie, boy, this is just such an important message to be getting out there today because again, there's so many people in disbelief about weather modification. And I've
Mhm.
talked to a lot of people that says, "Oh, it's just all hoax."
Yeah.
And and
They
you know
want us
what?
to believe that. They want us to believe that because when people learn, the more we learn, the more people get educated for this, the more we're going to say, stop. Just stop. Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
We want our Mother Earth to be in her natural state, not being poisoned as well as us, right?
right. And Jordan Reeves, if you're still on our broadcast right now, why don't you reach out to me later? Again, um, and then I'd like to talk to you about some things and what's going on out there in Canada as well.
Mm.
Jordan Reeves is out of Canada.
Oh,
But
great.
so I appreciate having Canada join us this morning.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
This is
oh
my
yeah,
my Canuck friend.
yep.
My half my family's from Canada, so that's cool.
Well, me and Jordan had a really good friend that passed away here several years back, and just a hell of a patriot. And we've stayed in touch all these years. So,
Good.
and but other than that, appreciate you being on here, Jordan. Thank you. Um, so, Julie, what what do you think is going to become of a lot of these areas where, like right now, supposedly they stopped doing all the chemtrails out in Arizona, supposedly, but
Yeah.
from what I can see, it looks like I've been still seeing some here and there.
Yeah.
Um, what And I'm also hearing that this is starting to happen in in the tiniest of areas, like out in small areas out in Idaho. You can see it up in the sky. What what do you think is going to become of all this at the end of the day? Do you think they're going to stop doing this? I know Trump has been making announcements like he's going to try to be putting a stop to this now. Um,
Yes, and the way that right now it's getting leaked out more and more, and there are actually several states that have um, requested that it be halted. And so I know that President Trump is aware of the situation. Um, I believe that he discussed something to putting a halt to it in Davos when he
yeah,
was over there. I know too that James O'Keefe did an undercover investigation and he was talking to several companies that put all of this stuff together. And so I don't know. I feel like it's going to have to be, we have to stay on with it, and we the people need to continue to push to make this stuff go away and to dismantle it. Talk about
yeah,
defund the police. We're not defunding the police. We don't want to defund the ICE, but we want to defund weather modification systems, I would
right.
think, you know.
So for our viewing audience today, I'm asking all you guys reach out to whitehouse.gov, put pressure on the
Yes.
White House to send out email after email saying, Donald Trump, please put a halt on this weather modification,
Mhm.
um, and please get it on the books for law. This
Yeah.
is not good for America. It's poisoning us. It's poisoning our children, our
Yes.
grandchildren. This
Yes.
needs to be stopped. And we've got to get this message out there and just spread this, guys. And
Yeah.
again, everything that Julie provided today, Julie, can you add some links to where they can actually go in here under the messaging, to where they can actually do some of the research of what you've done already?
Well, it's
And then,
gonna, yeah, let me take a look here. I can
so, so
copy
whatever
this.
Julie is able to share with you guys, I'm asking you guys to open it up, read it, and check it out for yourselves. And then please get it shared out there. Again, the American people deserve to know that we've been being nothing but poison. And I'm going to say it like it is. We're being poisoned. This is affecting our health, our grandkids' health, everything in the book, guys. This is why these kind of broadcasts are so important to get out there. And I see exactly why all the social media is trying to shut us down on Thursday from doing this broadcast. Um,
Yeah.
it's always, it's all
Yeah,
about this right here for those guys, to
absolutely.
keep us silenced, to not allow these kind of broadcasts. But again,
Mhm.
we're using a backdoor IP address today on our broadcast, which we're going to continue to keep switching it up to where it's never going to be the same IP when we're doing broadcasts. That way they can't keep up with us. That way we make sure these kind of reports are getting out there to all of you guys. And the way we're doing it, they can't block the feed. So, anyways,
All right, Jonathan, I was able to give you those only into the private chat. It wouldn't allow me to go into the other public chat. So I don't
here,
know if you have a way of getting that over there.
let me take a look at the private chat. Let's see.
But folks, if we can't get the link set, it's really all you have to do is go to the patent office, the United States Patent Office, and see, you can find those patents there just like I did. Another good website is engineeringwatch.org.
Okay.
And that's another really good one to check out
So,
as well.
so on the weather patent section, what do they do? Type in weather modification on their search engine?
Just put in weather.
Weather,
Just
that's
put
it.
in weather and it'll
Yeah.
pop them up.
All right. And no, it's not letting me share it either. I don't know why.
Okay.
So maybe what we could do at the end of the broadcast, Julie, if you want to go back in on a couple of the ones that we're streaming to, just put in a couple links under
And
the
I'll drop those.
comments
Sure. Yeah.
where people
Sure.
can go in and research it.
Yep.
But again, I'm a firm believer. Everything that we share, I expect you guys to research.
Yes,
I mean,
please.
don't sit there and just take what we say for word. Um,
Right.
Research what we're reporting to you guys is true. And
Right.
that's what it's all about for us. Just like when we're down broadcasting on the borders. That's why we
Mhm.
broadcast live.
Right.
You can't say that we edit our videos. We're not, our goal is to get the truth out to America. Speaking of borders, we've got a live event coming, and I'm just going to say it real soon. So stay
Mm-hmm.
tuned to our Jonathan and Julie D in the morning shows.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be live on, I'll just say one of the borders. We're not going to
Yeah.
tell tell people where we're going to be at until we're there.
Yeah.
But we'll be back down there and meeting with the military and some other people and get that story out there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, it's good to see our military troops on the border, Julie.
Yes. Yes.
My understanding, we've got 10,000 more troops en route over to the Tucson sector as well. So,
That's
yeah,
huge. That's
and
ginormous.
yeah, and it is. It tells you there is some definite activity that's not just watching the border going on.
Right. Right.
um,
Right. Yeah.
and
Something's getting ready to pop, I do believe.
well, I do believe you're going to see the cartel taken out. That's what I believe we're going to witness. And
Yay.
and it couldn't be soon enough, President Trump. This
Exactly.
is all this fentanyl that's come through our borders. The
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of thousands of Americans that's died from the fentanyl poisoning from the cartel. That good old tampon Tim and all these thugs out there want to protect these criminals and these
Yeah.
rapists and child molesters. And they call themselves, constitutionalists out there. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Yeah.
constitutional, you'd be all about God, family, and country. You would not be
Exactly.
about protecting illegal invaders that's come into this country that are killing Americans and raping our women and children.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah.
so if you want to call yourself a patriot and you're involved in those kind of riots out there, you can kiss my ass. Um, I'm I'm just in one of those moods this morning, Julie. Um, and then I'm trying
You
to
know,
be careful. That
I'd like
yeah,
to say something too, to the folks that don't believe that the weather modification is real. I totally, totally get the cognitive dissonance when we learn information that goes completely against what our belief system has been given to us to this point. But really, this is the opportunity to start asking more questions and learning what in the world, where do we live? How are we living? And are we really free? Because as we learn more about what has been done to we the people, it's a hard line in the sand to say no, they wouldn't do that. Surely they wouldn't do that. And I get that because I was there too. And it can be a very disheartening and lonely road when you learn things about your world that are totally counter what you grew up with.
right,
So this process that we're going through right now is called the Great Awakening for a reason. It's the fact that we are all awakening to what the truth is for ourselves and to ourselves.
yeah,
And so I really hope that people reach out to those of us that have been down different journeys and have had that cognitive dissonance of it's hard to believe. Again, go watch that movie Matrix. There's a point in there where he gets unplugged from the old world, and he winds up just throwing up because he can't comprehend how different it is. The truth really is. And it can be a long, hard, lonely journey,
Yeah.
but know that you guys are not alone. So as you have questions, please reach out to those of us that have done some research, and we're here for you.
Yeah.
So,
And don't just reach out to us. Make us show you the facts. You know.
well, no, I think people have to find the facts on their own, and as they find them, they come to this
Yeah.
craziness in your head of
Well, I'm talking
can't
about
be true.
for the ones that don't want to take the time to look into it. You know,
Right.
call us out on it, and then we're going to provide the facts to you. And whether you
Mhm.
want to read it, try to comprehend it, or whatever, that's on you. But we will always provide facts behind what we say,
Right.
if we're asked. I mean, we're not just going to say something and not have the facts behind it.
Right. Right.
So again, and Julie, I want to get this out there to our viewing audience as well. I've been very disturbed over the weekend watching even a lot of Patriots going. That was an unjustified shooting out there in Minnesota. This last one. Um,
Mhm, mhm.
I'm gonna call black, black, white, white, guys. You know what? It's is it our constitutional right to carry? Absolutely. But you want to show up to a riot fully armed. You got multiple magazines. Yeah, you've got magazines in the clip. I mean, you name it, the whole nine
Mhm,
yards. I mean, that- in the gun. Sorry about that. You know,
mhm.
and you're ready to rock and roll. You're sitting there getting them ICE agent, Border Patrol's faces throughout the whole ordeal. And then you start resisting. You know, chances are you're probably going to end up dead. Um, it's point blank and clear. So my suggestions to anybody watching, especially out in the Minneapolis area, if you want to carry a gun, that's one thing. But,
Mhm.
but don't sit there and taunt our ICE agents with them knowing you got a gun.
Right.
Don't sit there and resist arrest. Quite frankly, the guy should have automatically just put his hands way out in front like this in the snow and said, "I've got a gun," and left
Mhm.
his arms out like that. You know,
Yeah.
that way they could have disarmed him
Yeah.
properly.
Mhm.
Versus rolling somebody over, whatever may be the cause of discovery. Oh my God, gun, gun. You know,
Right.
these ICE agents, guys. You look at the amount of people in their faces on a daily basis screaming at them, "I'm going to kill you," or blowing the whistles constantly in their ears all freaking day.
Yes.
These guys are already agitated by what they're having to deal with out there. You know,
Mhm.
and believe me, I don't care who you are, what profession you're in, whether you're law enforcement, border patrol, you got somebody constantly in your face. Trust me, it creates a lot of agitation within yourself. It does.
Absolutely, and
It,
it's hard to think straight. Sure.
absolutely. And the
Yep.
first thing you're thinking about at that point is the safety of you and your men.
Yep.
Um, and again, they don't know who's there to kill them, who's not there to kill them,
That's right.
because, I mean, you just had a guy from Antifa telling people it's time to arm up, let's kill them,
Yep.
and he did it live on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit we're having. And again, people are actually just saying it right out there on all these social media platforms. It's time we're going to start killing ICE agents. Everybody meet us
Mhm.
here. This guy that from Antifa that said it was 4 blocks from where that shooting happened. That's where he
Yep.
lives. He flat
Yeah.
out said it.
Yep.
4 blocks away, and he's calling people to come meet up to go kill ICE agents.
Yep.
So again, for you folks to want to beat up on the ICE agents for shooting someone dead, how about beating up on these protesters that want to sit there and be right in their faces, be armed up and resisting arrest, and call it what it is, folks. These guys have a duty. It's one thing to peacefully protest, But these
Mhm.
guys aren't just protesting, they're interfering with federal operations.
Exactly. Yep.
That's the
Yep.
point behind it. This should not even be legal.
Right.
Again, protests are legal, but when you
Yes.
are interfering
Peaceful
with,
protests are
yep,
legal, but that a peaceful protest is you carry your sign and you
yep,
walk, and that's all you do. You
yep,
don't interfere with anything else. But
yep,
you know what? The prostitutes, I'm going to call them for what they are. The prostitutes think that that is not good news because it's boring. So what they're calling the peaceful protest is exciting and oh, let's do this,
yep,
right? So yeah, peaceful protest means you do not interfere with whatever is happening. You do
yep,
so from a distance and make your voice heard, but without interfering. That
right.
includes noise interference.
And I want to say this as well. I mean, when you have people like that right there that have um, no concern about others around them, because that could have very well cost other people their lives as well. What if the bullet
Oh,
would have
sure.
missed him and hit somebody else? Whatever.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
when you see this kind of crap right there, going to a protest is one thing, but you want to get in people's faces with your gun, like almost
Mhm.
like intimidation, like I'm armed. Well, good for you. Um,
Yeah.
but you're picking the wrong fight at the wrong time when you're
Right.
armed like that. If you're a
Right.
protester, you don't sit there and get in the ICE agents' faces and then resist and everything else in the book. And number two, again, protests are perfectly legal, but it's not legal to interfere with federal operations. So when these guys are going right where these Border Patrol and ICE agents are raiding and they're blowing their whistles, interfering with an operation,
Hmm.
every one of those son of a bitches should have been locked up, and I mean locked up. I'm not
Yep.
talking about go get yourself in a jail cell and have Mr. Tim Waltz, oh, free them all, which is what they
Yeah,
were
you let them
doing.
out. Exactly.
Yeah, which is
Exactly. Yep.
exactly what they've been doing,
Hmm.
because there's no justice there either. And again,
Right.
they're, every one of those thugs are putting our ICE agents in harm's way
Yep.
because you don't know who they're actually going in to get. Those guys have no idea. I mean, that guy
Right.
could be totally armed up with AK-47s, the whole 9 yards.
Oh
In a
yeah.
second, and he might be ready to start shooting.
Yep.
You just don't know,
No.
and that's why ICE agents have to do surprise visits.
Hmm.
I mean, and
Yep.
again, if they're blowing their cover, it could also get them blown away.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's a good way to say it.
Yep. Good
So
point.
Well, Julie, it looks like we are up for our hour. This has been a
Yeah,
great
that went by
conversation
fast.
topic. Um, and if you guys out there ever want to join into our broadcast, again, reach out to us. We'd be we'd love to bring you on a show, and we can talk about
Absolutely.
different topics. So if you got a topic you'd like us to be talking about, reach out to us, and we'll see about bringing you live on the air and getting it out there. Only
Absolutely.
thing we do ask, and I'm just going to say it, make sure whatever topics we're going to talk about, make sure there's facts behind it, not just
Mhm.
um, a bunch of
Opinion.
questionable, not just a bunch of questionable things.
Right.
That we like to see the facts behind it.
Sure.
Other than that, God bless all of you guys. Appreciate you guys joining in to Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. And we'll be alive again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Hope you guys can join in. So other than that, you all have a wonderful day. God bless.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye bye.